for as long as they can.
There's Declan Rice back involved again after missing the trip to Belgium through illness in the week. Expected as to get their first free kick. It's very much a back five for Wolves in these early stages.
Yeah, and it might even be a back six at times when Arsenal get the ball and start to stretch this Wolves team, I'm sure, as the game goes on. What you don't want to do really is what Matt Doherty did there. Start giving away cheap free kicks in these sort of areas. That's where you've got to be disciplined and you've got to, that's something that you can affect. Don't do things like that, which Declan Rice, deliberately a chance to put it right inside the 6-yard box.
Arsenal with the familiar setup. The far post. There runs into the middle just before Declan Rice strikes it. There you go. And here comes Rice's delivery. We're hoping for better as the evening progresses. It's a nice glimpse of Doherty. Arsenal's winning Bruges on Wednesday certainly suggested the frustrations of those parties already out of their system. Successively gains all season. Victory here this evening. At least a temporary restoration. City with this will take them to the top for the first time since August. Averaged 2 points a game more than Wolves this season. Win probability is very confident they'll take 3 points more than them in this one. Visitors rated as having only a 6% chance of success. This game was played 20 times to stats recognised, they won 17 of them.
Good run, as Anyoka was very quick to support.
Tony Gomez. Busting runs up the Wolves right. Such an invidious position they find themselves in. They've got 2 points from 15 games. It's the joint lowest at this stage of a season by any club in English league history. Three times in the 4th division. Already in a position where they need 10 wins and 6 draws to stay up. It's fair to say that fate appears pretty well defined.
Personnel, Jimmy, that I think sometimes there are teams find themselves at the bottom of the Premier League and you think, look, if they get their act together, they've got some good players. Just look at the Wolves team, they just don't see the personnel. Who knows, coming here this evening, putting up a real determined, dogged display. Maybe getting beat by the odd goal, or dare I say, even leaving here with a point, just might all of a sudden change the dynamic for them a little, but they've got an incredible amount of work to do.
Too happy with that challenge on Gabriel Martinelli. It was not T, it was the perpetrator. VAR. Another look at the incident. Zubaidi. For Saliba, who's got a bigness of the heart of the Arsenal defence. We're getting it in. That's gone out of play for a corner. Krejci's hitting Tony Gomez only after the ball had gone over the line.
Yeah, Nketiah finds himself in a good position here, opens his body up to receive that pass. Just use it, smothers that cross initially. Arsenal get the first shot again from the corner. These set plays, we know they're all drilled, they're well rehearsed, they are.
Looking for this one of the night. We're going short. And he was waiting, it was all too easy to play the ball into that inside right channel. No pressure on Zubimendi from the short corner. It's Ben White. And Rice. Peeling away at the bottom of your picture to for himself here for Zubimendi. Pogba getting the ball.
He's extremely happy when he's in the box at the other end of the field. Decently, again, I think you should at least be getting that on target. Just gets too much on it, puts it more of a glancing header. I think it will give Sam Johnson more to think about.
This is the way that Arsenal are lining up defensively tonight. Playing at left back, he has done that before in one of the European wins. Moving to the staying in the middle of the money stagnation and something with the left back where he played more of his fumble early in his Arsenal career.
He's done a very good job since Mosquera went out of the team as well. He's been in there playing centre half and has done particularly well. Nketiah was there for it, a little more natural for him as opposed to putting Tim or Ben White there.
Tight to him and agree that initially around Arsenal the advantage. Just too much going on in there. The free kick has been given.
That's his arm strap to go Saka in the air. It was very quick actually. He's a good athlete. Bukayo Saka will need to be at this tricky yesterday with the ball at his feet. At least probably one or two of them will be able to just
Quintet all come in, it's Rice. Tees it in for a near post flick from Saliba. This is going to give Joao Gomez the opportunity to bring it forward. Tony Gomez a ball from Esther. He has gone down, caught off the ball after a collision with White.
He was trying to sprint past Ben White there actually. Might just seemed to step across him and just checked his run as you would do. Whether there was anything sinister on that, we'll have to wait and see.
Sympathising with the Wolves fans who boycotted the opening minutes of Monday's game against Manchester United. He said that he understood the frustrations of not seeing his side win for 6 months. He said he did warn that he expected expected, quote, more pain to come. But it was essential that he got more help in a number of areas with the freshening up of the squad in January. Some magnificently loyal support from those in the Black Country coming down to the capital on a Saturday night.
So again, with that sort of delivery from the goalkeeper, Strand Larsen has got to be more physical. It's a kind of half-hearted challenge that Sneedham's always going to get there and always going to deal with it first, but Strand Larsen almost gave up on it a little bit. Can't do that. I'm here, away from home. Not done for everything. And the rest Sneedham can put on that. Just might drop down for a Wolves midfield player. Pick it up and they have a chance to try and build an attack. The centre forward has got to hold it up and do more for his team.
So impressive how Arsenal have been able to keep the points tipping over in the absence of that's deflected away. Yeah, just looking it back to make sure that Arsenal maintain possession.
A little bit more time in one that I think they need to wear off.
Getting it away.
So very close to the Operas, just couldn't get it out of his feet to try and get some sort of shot on target.
It's ball in hitting Paul, but almost broke Ence's way. Very quickly split the away of apology. Genuine attempt to play the ball, but caught João Gomes in the face.
Yeah, it was high, wasn't it? His boot there. There's that trying to pull it down, isn't it? But he had a little look first. He saw where João Gomes was.
Real sore one for João Gomes, who missed Monday night because of suspension, and Wolves were weakened as a result of that. In the heart of their midfield tonight to play the 200th game of his club career. He's actually sent off when the two sides last met. So they're just finishing up a few instructions there for Ben White.
Yeah, I think the two wide boys tonight, Martinelli and Bukayo Saka. I think when they get the ball, obviously nowadays you often see the fullbacks charging around them so as they can step in, field with the ball. Tonight I think it's one of those, you knock it out to those wide boys and you let them go beyond those fullbacks, you let them take them on. Because they go on the outside or the inside. I really do. And they're so good at it, Saka and Martinelli. They're very dangerous when they're taking people on. Sometimes it's nice that those fullbacks are wanting to offer themselves and go beyond. But don't always need to, just support from behind the ball. Just be there if Saka wants to roll it to your back.
There was under no misapprehension about what he was inheriting. It was the summer when the likes of Premier Aguilera and Semedo all left. Nobody with Premier League experience was brought in to replace them. But the lure of managing the club that he supported as a boy in the area where his family still lived was just too much, leaving Middlesbrough at the top of the championship, or second in the championship, to take on a side who you could argue got less chance of playing Premier League football next season than Middlesbrough.
Very true. I think there's always that knack for managers in that sort of situation in the back of your mind that the opportunity might never come back. It might not present itself against you. And so for that, sometimes the lure of playing for a club they love and that's a special place in their heart is sometimes too great, even though they probably know deep down, I'm sure Rob would have looked at it, assessed the squad and realised that probably not going to keep them up.
I don't think there's any other job that intended Rob Edwards in the same way. Such a short tenure up on Teesside. So easily playing through the Wolves press to midway inside the opposition half. Saka, an opportunity to take on Volva. Very comfortably saved by Johnston. Steer it on his arm. That's what you're for.
Yeah, look, you can go left, you can go inside or on the outside there. Goes to the byline, clips a lovely cross up. Just perhaps not quite enough pace on it. Declan Rice to really get anything serious on goal, but that's what can happen when Bukayo Saka has the option to go inside and out.
The Wolves players got down. They wanted to take the free kick quickly. So no accuracy at all. The referee has pulled it back. It was Timber with the challenge that Wolves are complaining about. In the side tonight, hoping for his first goal in 10 games. He's started around a third of the fixtures that Wolves are playing. Further shot on Palagas this evening. Andre with the delivery. So the beaten in the air. Could hook that clear for Arsenal. Back from Andre again. Equally controlled by Rice. He's got the opportunity now to then White forward into Wolves territory. Saka. Wang for Toddy takes challenge well.
That's a good run from Ben White, great ball from Saka, and an excellent challenge. Very important one from Totti, yeah. Clearly offside, you can see Ben White there, but nice idea, really good challenge that from Totti. Last week, 18-game unbeaten run. Well, on Wednesday, with win number 16 in their last 20 games in the League Cup. And more than maintain their 100% start to this hugely impressive Champions League campaign that they're in the middle of. Trying to win it back. Time just to take a glance over his shoulder to see who was where. Now he will be able to push forward. Mascara going out of play for an Arsenal throw. Part of the Arsenal game plan to try and attack David Muller-Volfa, the Wolves left back. So much of Arsenal's play in the early stages has gravitated down this near touchline as we look at it. Yeah, Saka is more often than not the go-to man, isn't he? He's always the one that can make the difference for the team. So no surprises that you probably will always see a little bit more of it than Martinelli on the other side. It's tough for Arsenal this bit like this when they're just banking up Wolves and sitting back in heavy numbers, not really squeezing the ball. Just waiting for Arsenal to try and make their move. And if it's not accurate, then Wolves will try and be in a position to cut it out. They won't be able to do much going forward from this position when they turn the ball over, but as I mentioned earlier, for them tonight it's about just trying to stay in the game, just keep it as tight as they can.
Quite on the timber. Another Arsenal free kick. Chiesa awarded the player of the month award for November for Arsenal before the game started. It's the rest of the month. It's the first in Premier League history. Sunderland back in the 1970s.
So even when the ball goes back, Wolves are sort of getting out about 4 or 5 yards, but no further than that. They're happy to sit deep, hold deep out. Just see if they can intercept.
That's making a really good run between the lines here. You see Bucharest that was closer to it. Certainly travelled south in hope rather than expectation tonight, but the first quarter of the game has seen a well-regimented defensive performance. Not too much for Sam Johnstone to do.
No, it's all been quite low-key so far. It suits them.
One of those nights where patience might have to be an important commodity for Arsenal. Again.
Didn't touch it. It was a little high, but no contact.
Some of those older Wolves fans that are here tonight will have regaled their younger compadres with stories of winning away to the leaders. It's never happened in the Premier League. The last time it happened in the top flight was at Anfield back in 1984. The winning side on that occasion was Wolves. Would end up being a rare highlight in a relegation campaign. And you'll remember Steve Martin.
Yes.
From Birmingham, who scored that goal for Wolves that night.
Try not to get frustrated, the Arsenal fans, and try not to get a little itchy and twitchy because their team are already in front after nearly 25 minutes. You see Mikel Arteta there. It's got the third or fourth time they've tried to go inside Wolverhampton and it's just been hit too big. It's gone out for a goal kick. They've got to start moving it a little bit quicker than they are. Better switch of play always gives a wide player a chance. A little bit more room to manoeuvre.
Arsenal first of all for the opening quarter of the game. They've only had 2 attempts and neither of those was on target. So making a mess of that, it could be a rectified it after not being able to receive the initial pass. Kind of apology offered by Martinelli on his way past. Rob Edwards will be delighted with the start that his side have made here. Much more resolution on Saturday night than there was on Monday. Still a long way to go, and they can't afford to surrender possession as cheaply as that. The meeting this time is that direct pass in front. He supplied the potent delivery that he wanted. That'll be by Andre.
Again, 1v1. Just teases Totti towards the ball, spins past him, gets to the byline. Andre does well just at that near post area to make sure he knocks that one out.
The longest throw of the night so far. Zubimendi continues. Situation that Wolves have got to play for tonight. Waring ran a long way, was running out of legs, and couldn't test Raya as much as he wanted.
He did well in the end, actually, Wayne. There's no way he should be left inside his own half without any covering Arsenal shirt. Decent strike, well saved, comfortably handled by David Raya, but it's the game plan for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Just pick that odd moment. You never know, but it's a little careless from Arsenal.
Martinelli. And the deepest of Arsenal's outfield players is Timber there on the left-hand side of your picture, in possession now, drifting forward. He's 15 yards inside Wolves territory. It's such a high line. Opportunities might be prevalent for Wolves. Comes from Eza, Zubimendi. Ben White's got a problem, and have to come off in a moment. Hanging a high ball in, and Johnston's able to claim at the set. Just really struggling it. Just pulled up in there.
This game
Quick retreat.
Looks like there's going to be a change. Miles Lewis-Skelly getting ready to go.
He continues for that. Scare of the player, but he's down. Getting caught. Around the Adams
Gyökeres really is just trying to get in front and get his body in a favourable position. Yeah, there's a little bit of a bang on the chin there for Mosquera, but surprised he hits the floor. Really out. Try and track the line. Is that chance for him? He's not happy until there.
Ben White's had to wait so long for a lengthy run in the team. First time he started 3 successive Premier League matches for a long, long time. So reshuffling defensively to accommodate Lewis-Skelly coming on. I imagine that Lewis-Skelly will play a left back and Capier will move into the middle alongside Saliba, and Timber will come out at right back.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that the medical diagnosis is not hamstring this way. Unscathed. Again, have created the one really good opportunity so far.
Very true. That's the idea. Certainly from the shot it wasn't the most powerful, but it gave David Raya something to think about. Sam Johnson's had pretty much nothing so far.
So Lewis-Skelly for his 11th substitute appearance of a season in which he's yet to start a league game. Wolves last season, you'll remember, in a controversial incident that subsequently saw his red card rescinded. Mascaro's okay.
Capito, lo square alla fine.
He's still in that training, he's going to be fit to continue. Clean sheet in the league this season. Wolves, the only team that shot out was Everton in the League Cup. Obviously, the final score against them in the league was Leicester, but following you back in April, that was Wolves' last league win. Just enough on that. All of a sudden, it's Arsenal able to motorboard 4 against 4. Everybody back in. It's Rice. In that situation, it's a corner.
Poor ball out from Martinelli to him. I think at one point he was 5 feet 4 to play with the red shirts. As you can see here, right now, this pass has just got to be weighted better. Time right, but it's just a little awkward for Declan Rice to wrap his foot around that, but we get the bonus of another corner.
It's been taken short. Luis Skelly. Saka. Just got out there quickly and he is blocking. Gets Arsenal back on the field. Cappier sending it in. Dangerously. We've got another corner out of it.
I think Sam Johnston's let this go. He thinks this should be a goal kick. I'm pretty sure he could have just scooped this one up. He's happy just to let that go at the last moment. If it come off Andre, you might have thought it's come off an Arsenal head.
That was a great delivery. Johnson stranded. So how did they not make more of it?
But just go for goal, just head it down. If he just heads this down, I think he scores. Just head it down. You've got to try and make sure you get over the top of that. I think really they're looking to, should be looking to certainly hit the target better than that.
He's had such a wonderful time of it in the Champions League. Gabriel Martinelli scoring in 5 successive ties for the club this season. And still, they never hit the target for a single attempt today. History midweek. We think of some of the players that Arsenal have played for them in the past in the Champions League. It really is a great achievement to something that Brighton Henry, Bergkamp and Al could ever manage, scoring in 5 successive Champions League games for Arsenal. It's the one Premier League goal from Martinelli so far this season, though. João Gomez.
Doherty was on there, João Gomez just again Arsenal have a chance now. And Arsenal just allow Wolves to recover there. Shirts to come out towards the ball, but they're not. They're just staying where they are. Well, it's only 40 yards from goal. There's no pressure on the ball because they just want to stay in their shape. I don't blame them. It's exactly the right tactic for Robin because it's worked pretty well so far. 35 minutes in.
Open play. They have precious little to deal with. A sensible game plan Perfectly executed up to now. Zubimendi, Saliba, Nketiah, Busquets, Zubimendi coming on. Martinelli back into his feet, just trying to fan around Zubimendi's run. We're going to cover a lot of ground and quickly get Jose Joao Gomez.
He could have served the board himself, I think, a lot better. There's always the option at half-time. I don't think it would necessarily happen. There's still a long way to go yet before we get to the interval. That is just sensational. He's on site when he picks it up. Absolutely dreamlike. For one rushing midfielders and strikers, that was such a good ball. And someone I think should be doing more to get on the end of that.
For his defending at the far post to deny Martinelli. That was Rice's latest call, and Johnson getting a hand on that. Martinelli's done too wide.
At all, do they call as well as near post, far post, whatever. He was kind of just about dealing with most of this stuff so far. The point I was going to make in terms of half-time is he was the option of Odegaard on as well, as there's a very 2 number 10s effectively. Just Declan Rice probably to sit. Maybe half-time's a bit early for that, but again, Mikel Arteta feels that his team needs to pull this Wolves run around a little bit more. Then the more creative players you've got in there, the better.
William Smith to give Arsenal a free kick. Just gone over the line and played for Wolves' throw. Actually, a peach of the delivery from Bukayo Saka a few moments ago. A few nervy skirmishes in and around the edge of the 6-yard box for Rob Edwards Wolves, but still a clean sheet against their name at the moment. Already guaranteed to be bottom on Christmas Day, which is a position for which only 4 sides have ever stayed up in the Premier League, but Wolves themselves are the last ones to manage it. It'll be a much greater escape if they do it again. And headed away from Eze. And more Volta trying to flick it off Saka, didn't get the touch he wanted, so it's an Arsenal throw. They never get Yokeres into the game as yet. He's had fewer touches than anybody else.
He doesn't have a lot of room to run into because they're sitting so deep balls and they're backpedaling pretty much most of the time. But that cross moments ago from Saka, that's the sort of thing I feel he's got to get on the end of. Or he's got to look closer to get on the end of.
And in again by Rice. Zubimendi for Rice. On the edge of the penalty area, that's not a bit away of it, but just a really good wall for Arsenal to try and successfully navigate, and it's proved more troublesome than they might have expected.
So that's then what happens. Start to try and force it. When you've gone square and sideways for 4 or 5 passes, you then always tempted to serve it forward. And then you just overhit it a little bit, as Zubimendi did there. Yeah, it's... I think they would have, everybody coming to the stadium tonight, he most certainly would have expected absolutely everything he's seen in the opening 40 minutes. What he wouldn't have expected that his team are yet to get out of second gear.
Started climbing high. Last. Krejci. Kwang. The referee says play on. Eza with the silky quick feet in the midfield. Timber can guide it on here for Gyökeres.
Yeah, it's good defending again from Agbadou there. Just a little nudge in the back of Gyökeres. Either doesn't have quite enough strength to keep his body between Agbadou and the ball.
Arsenal still waiting for their first attempt on target. The only one we've seen, that Kwang shot on the breakaway.
And the other option, Jim, as well, is like Arsenal did in the North London derby. You play Marino, he doesn't look to stretch in behind, he drops in. So he's another midfield player effectively when Arsenal have the ball. But has a very good ability, has a real clever knack of being in the box when those crosses come in and can finish. So that's another potential move that Mikel Arteta could make.
Saka for Timber. Johnston. Enough time and not too much pressure on him to be able to claim that comfortably after the miscue from Toddy Gomez. It's a good quick release as well. Skyrise quickly became third favourite to get to it. It's urged on again with 2.5 minutes to go to half time. There's going to be a fair bit of time to be added on. Lewis Scan. There's Martinelli with the in-swinging delivery that is repelled by Agbadou. It's told us week Mikel Arteta about needing 90 points to win the league this season. That's how he sees it. Which means that he anticipates that the pace is going to hot up as time goes on, because the Gunners are on course for 84 right now. If he's they're going to have to win 17 in their last 23 games, at least.
To free anybody up yet, where we just saw Eza moments ago take a man on, go beyond him and then cross the ball. This is the only guy in an Arsenal job really goes past people with any real purpose, I feel, so far.
Spurs have to play for a corner. Opportunity for Declan Rice. I think you might be saying that his long throws aren't as potent as his wonderful in-swinging corners from that Arsenal left. This one taken short for Zubimendi. Moves along range, blocks the plays in. Agbadou again as we go into 4 added minutes at the end of this first half. Dangerous foul on an Arsenal player.
As those
Itu
seconds
game
tick down,
strike rate. Ya.
again, that conversation I think from Mikel Arteta with his team. Very quick is going to be geared to what significant changes can we make that's going to really make a difference. He's got some nice options, really some very talented boys on the bench. He's got to get them right.
Set piece too close to Johnson, who wasn't too far away from a timber flick right in front of him. Back in from Ezra into that congested area. Ball for Steers. Back from Saliba. João Gomez. First opportunity really for Volta to make this. He's Strand Larsen and it's not. Declan Rice.
Just for a moment there, they looked like a slip in there, and Strand Larsen received that ball. It looks like he was going to get that shot away. Here we go here, watch, just see Strand Larsen. I think it's in Capio who slips. That's where actually get back and bounce back up on his feet and get a block in.
It's the nature of the beast, of course, the way that Wolves have set up tonight, but when they do create those rare opportunities in the other end, they've always got much more space to try and execute in the penalty area that Arsenal have. Then gets it away. Gonzalo Morris some away from time at 0-0.
I think one change at half-time, I think, for Mikel Arteta, I feel that I think the ground needs a bit of a lift, the crowd need just a little bit more. I think to get them going revved up at the start of the second half.
And then for Rice. Rice has got a lot of his good work back in his own penalty area. Wolves number 9, Krejci that heads that on. Away. Saka with an important touch, but not get back on his feet quickly enough. But it went out of play for a throw. And that was half time. Top against bottom is very much of an attack against the It's the visitors that have had the better opportunities. The one shot on target coming from Wang Hee-chan on a counter-attack. Martinelli has had Arsenal's best attempts, totally ahead of it. Flash right across the face of goal. But the Gunners frustrated at the moment, firing blanks against the Wolves side that have been able to handle pretty much everything that's been thrown at them so far. Half-time in North London. Surprisingly, Arsenal 0, Wolves 0.
Super Krepek. Ini krepeknya super.
Itu dia, Mak. Lebih cepat di Shopee.
Taste the coolest flavors. LA Ice.
Kalau orang satu yang gue percaya, mesti mempercayai gue sebelum bisa dan dia main.
Di sini tuh banyak banget orang berduit. Tapi yang juga kayak kamu ngomongnya.
Gue mau cewek pantai nggak?
Kamu bukan perempuan. Kamu juga gitu.
Susah kamu sama laki lain lagi bangke. Jagung super krepek. Krepeknya super. Jagung super krepek. Krepeknya super.
Kan, punya bos, sesempurna aku.
Saya mau berhenti kerja, Pak. Saya butuh waktu untuk menata ulang hidup saya, Pak.
Gaji kamu akan aku lipat, mobil baru, dan apartemen baru.
Bapak pikir saya nggak perlu menikah? Orangnya cuma ganteng.
Ya memang sempurna banget.
Kamu jadi pacar aku, Kim. Lo jatuh cinta.
Ratus juta ini akan diperebutkan oleh 40 orang yang akan bertanding masak dalam rangka menciptakan menu baru di Sambal Bakar. Selamat datang di Master of None.
Here's Matthew Cass. Here's the Cass jackpot for Aston Villa. Early on. Bukayo Saka and Trossard. Arsenal are able to force it to a change in the first half when White went off injured and Lewis Skelly replaced him. There's speculation that perhaps Mikel Arteta might want to shake things up at half-time. In terms of personnel at the top end of the pitch, he's resisted the temptation to do that just there.
Yeah, trust in his players and feels that with a little bit more inspiration that they'll kind of break through and then that will go on to allow them to get 2 or 3 more. And it wouldn't surprise me if that's exactly what happens. But they've got to move it a lot quicker than they have. The players have got to go past their opposite number better, more consistently. And as for Wolves, more of the same. And even if they go 1 down, I don't think.
So 45 minutes in, and still waiting for the first Arsenal 10-10 target. 0-0 the score. Wolves have had a couple of big moments at the other end that they haven't been able to capitalise upon. It's a situation that Arsenal have found themselves in a couple of times this season. You remember the game away to Fulham that was similar in terms of the first 45 minutes to this one. They did find a breakthrough there, the Gunners, just before the hour mark through Leandro Trossard. Game of Newcastle that they won, they did so with 2 goals in the last 6 minutes. Same way that the first half finished, with Arsenal having the lion's share of possession, taking the game to Wolves. No surprise at that, it's going to be that pattern you would imagine from here on in. The potency that it has to be patience for Arteta and the Gunners. Here's Rice. Risky from Zubimendi. Right back and really quickly. There by Capier, but nothing's been given by referee Rob Jones.
Yeah, I think some bad decisions for Hwang to just hit the floor there. Keep going. He had a yard on him, Capier. Might not have been enough, but keep going. You never know. He might have got to that ball first.
For William Saliba and Bukayo Saka. The more most likely to be Arsenal players in that first half to provide something special. Almost does so much. Very confused.
That's that danger area when Saka gets to the byline. And he goes beyond Mullenberg and just stands out with his right foot. And it's up to those in the back post area to make sure they're there waiting for him.
Ahead of him, fixed up by Krejci. Yuri into the angle on the pass that he needed. It was straight along Gray. Shows the place he's in to bring him forward. It was Strand Larsen who went down. Not been given again. Digging it clear. Now Strand Larsen's ball forward. Here to hit the hand of Capier. Wolves. Chance for them just to have a breather after 3.5 minutes of Arsenal pressure.
Just to reset and right. Make sure that they get organised. Everyone keeping themselves right. Be prepared, be ready to go.
I'm sure the talent to be able to bring on when you see the likes of Madueke and Trossard and Erdegaard. Wolves with hardly a kick in the opening 4 minutes of the second half. Towards his own penalty area, it's left back Lewis Skelly. Nicolas. Tackling with Mosquera. Receiving the free kick. This is again potentially be able to play as well. Notwithstanding the fact he would know be up against three centre halves and there'd be little space to work, but centre forward who's come for big money and you're taking on the side bottom of the table with the worst defensive record, there is pressure on his shoulders.
It certainly is, yeah. He would have been expecting to have had a lot more coming at him in the box than what he's seen so far.
He's opposite number Sam Johnson with the restarts. It's a situation for Wolves. Indicating to everybody in the stadium here that he's got his number. Will factor in any time wasted. Something like one. As expected, I lost the faith. It's been a frustrating evening for them so far. Still showing tremendous tendency to predominantly attack. Looking in the other way now for Declan Rice. Martinelli in close support. As he flicked it on, square play for goal kick.
Lucky. Right idea, I think there. Back defenders into the 18-yard box. Tries to scoop it between a couple of them there, and unfortunately just toe post that one out for a goal kick. I think those changes will be coming pretty soon, Jim, I do, for Arsenal.
Free kick to Arsenal, just a little touch on Nketiah by Wang.
Didn't need to, Nketiah's going nowhere. It's just an unnecessary free kick to give away.
Squeeze it through, it's a good run from Gyökeres there. Tries to try and find it. Hit indeed towards Martinelli, Doherty there. It's the first score of the second half.
Good challenge, Matt Doherty there. Making sure that he tracks that one on Martinelli. And knows he's putting it out for a corner, but I'm afraid that's all he can do.
Frustration as Declan Rice didn't get the elevation that he wanted. He has at least got a second opportunity and a chance to make instant amends. When he gets these right with the pace and the swerve that he can put on them, it's so difficult to do.
Yeah, it's unlikely to hit it that flat. 3 foot off the floor into the near post. Did a free kick in the first 5 minutes as well, pretty similar to that. His delivery is usually excellent.
Again, Johnston coming out. Getting his backfield flick just for a moment. Saw some thoughts of a counter-attack crystallising the Wolves. Again, forced back inside their own penalty area for Johnston to clear. Stanislas has just eased Ezra under the flight of that ball forward. Free kick is Zuma quickly. It's Arsenal. Get Leandro Trossard ready. Coming on as well. Saka waltzing through, stays down, play goes on though. Decided he's got to stop the game because of the progressive of both players involved.
Yeah, Saka just overrun it a little bit. Totti makes the challenge. Just gets caught a little bit there, and I think he's happy to hit the floor and break the game up.
So here they come, Trossard and Marino. Marino, who started the last 5 Premier League games as a striker, he started back in his more customary midfield role in Belgium in the week.
Certainly, Leandro Trossard, we know what a knack he has of scoring big goals. Marino's been very useful as that kind of false 9 and getting into the box and scoring vital goals. Odegaard, second half against Aston Villa, looked sharp. I thought he played particularly well. A little bit more vulnerable for a second.
Mascara has come forward with the ball at his feet. He's now out of position.
Doesn't hurt himself there. right to literally pull the trigger on it and then change your mind as he did there.
Have a look at that. That was the phase of play prior to Arsenal winning the corner from which they scored. Saka marginally offside as it's play for now.
If Totti doesn't hit that, who knows?
Two and a half minutes since the goal went in, we've already seen much more activity from Wolves pushing forward. Will leave more space for Arsenal to try and exploit.
There you can see Sam Johnson is concerned. He actually does get a fingertip on it, but because he's backpedaling, he can't get enough. So just tip it over the top of the crossbar or knock it wide of the post. Not bothered about that. Red and white tonight. They're just delighted it's in the back of the net.
Martin Odegaard.
Saka's been a menace again all night long, hasn't he, really, for the ball from the left back. Every time, what I love about Bukayo Saka is he always tries to make something positive happen. You see lots of players nowadays in the wide areas, they get the ball, and they drop it back to someone else. He doesn't. He always marches forward with the ball at his feet. Drags the shot a little. Too tight to look up and see where the goal is. He's just working on instinct there, but he protected that nicely. Having done the hard part, he's got to hit the target. He knows that, but it's better from him.
Contribution to the match, 97 goals over the last two seasons at Sporting. That he has many opportunities to exhibit here in North London.
Yeah, in fairness to him, he's up against better all-round defenders and tougher teams. He's playing for a very good one, but
João Gomes. Wang. Aracadare. Some players all around him, throwing themselves into the line of fire. Will be combinations. Very shortly. Didn't get caught up, they'll still be around. sidelined by a hamstring injury for 6 weeks. So shorter in terms of resources than they would like.
Whilst Arsenal can feel like they can keep the ball and manage this at 1-0, you know, they want to really enjoy the last 10 minutes or so of the game. They need another one.
Saka naman tempat kita baru-baru. Ini bertemu isi tu.
Defensive header. From Moscara. Krejci, who's may well be up in a moment with. He's about to make a double change. For second and intent again, but he's ahead of Erdegaard.
Two subs below us waiting to come on for Rob Edwards. Yes, Fer Lopez been standing there now for about 5 minutes below us waiting.
The opportunity to make this double change. First, we're going to see Krejci replaced by Fer Lopez, the Spanish under-21 international that they signed from Celta Vigo. Wang Chan will also be replaced. Jean Arias. 50th goal of his career tonight as he comes on.
Fer Lopez came on against Manchester United the other night. John Arias started the game. Didn't really just in one situation for Wolves, just one corner, anything, a long throw, and you name it. You just can't
Tidak, Becky,
can't
kalau kasih dia
to make that happen.
jadi baik.
I don't know, that's what they've got to try and do.
Jesus is going to get some ovation as he comes back. And here's his moment. Victor Gyökeres, the man that will...
Closer.
Ovation from him. It'll be a big one for Gabby Jesus. He's waited 11 months. Now, back in action on the Emirates turf. It was his last game here in which he injured his ACL. He's come back in Bruges on Wednesday. Now returning to Premier League action. A timely return. As the odd injuries begin to mount up elsewhere.
Yeah, lovely to see Gabby Jesus back, and you know, his enthusiasm is infectious. He's one of those guys that will always put himself kind of in the line of fire. He'll be desperate to get an opportunity to bounce back with a goal now, an important one too.
Away from Fer Lopez. Here is Jesus. Past Mosquera as easily. Saka. So what about keeping possession for Arsenal here? I'm sure that they don't allow Wolves a glimmer of an opportunity. You can see in the second half, Arsenal's possession has been in the mid-80s. They've had
He's from there, it doesn't look on, does it, the near post? You're thinking he's going to have to curl this far. He's going to have to try and drift it inside that far post, but he doesn't. And kid Sam Johnston a little bit there, tries to just drags it a yard wide. Doesn't surprise me at all if Leandro Trossard does get a second goal for Arsenal. It's just such a knack of scoring big goals for the team.
Well, 7 minutes to go. Wolves won't necessarily be anticipating that the equalising goal is going to come their way, even the most optimistic ones, and they have failed to find the net in 9 of their 15 league matches this season. Scored the other 9 against Manchester United, but goal from both guys, their only goal now in more than 11 hours of league football. They are going to bring the really highly rated teenager Matthijs Meijer on for the final 5 minutes or so. Lopez at the beginning of this move. Into Aldrin. Making his way for the past 2 straight.
Gallagher right in the correct spot there. Spotted that through ball from Amadou.
Concede that will be on his own in the race for the Golden Glove. He's still got many twists and turns. He's along with Rob Sanchez at Chelsea at the moment. Getting his clean sheet earlier today. Defending from Nkapie, releasing Gabby Jesus. Plenty of time to run around it. Space and turn for Nico. Jesus thought he was going to be offside. Trossard furious at the pass that was picked.
Yeah, just needed to delay that for another second, didn't he, Miguel Moreno? Trossard might have been in there. Gabby Jesus clearly a yard offside. Here's another change then for Rob Edwards. This time it's one of the central defenders making way. Just to give more options up the field.
Zamani will come on for a 4th successive game in which he's been brought off the bench. As soon as Vitor Pereira departed the club, he's been given his opportunities. He made his debut in the one match between Vitor Pereira and Rob Edwards reigns. James Collins, the coach of the 21s, picked the team for that game and threw Mane in, and he's in a bit of playing time since. Here he is, number 36. With intent and confidence at Saliba, who was forced to become mindful of the trickery of the youngster. So dealing with the threat. Jesus on the deck, play goes on with Lopez. João Gomez. 3.5 minutes to go. Said that Churchill today, with the Arsenal fans didn't think so. I'm sure that the assistant got it right.
It's pretty much the most the Wolves have seen of the ball actually. There's no such a play all night long. They've got quite a few players now well in advance of the ball. They've got 5. This lead being a slender one.
Arias. Green shirts working with intent. Arsenal get it away. Wolves have lost into their last 8 games to the Gunners. Only had one on this ground once. Once are here in the context of this particular game, it certainly feel like a win for Wolves. They create one last opportunity to have given their permanent point of the season.
They had options. Clever pass from Agbadou. That could easily have been a shot on target. From what? 10 yards out.
90 seconds to go, another 6 minutes were expected to be added on top of that. Last 5 minutes have seen Wolves score. Some possession and beginning to get a foothold in the game. Position where they can gamble just to try and see something. Tensions return for the supporters here at the Emirates Stadium who know that this isn't all over by the shouting, that the job isn't done yet. No guarantees that there will be a 5-point lead at the end of the evening.
Again, waiting for the right moment to put it in the box. And someone's got good time and space, put a bit of quality in there. And Kadari is in there waiting.
He comes out from Mane Arakadari. It's on the edge of the penalty area. It's Marino that got it away. Then Trossard. Wolves will come again. Chichua. Neatly to get it in at the second time of asking. Comes out Joao Gomez for Lopez. Gomez might have been tempted to go for goal, he didn't. Arias heading it down. Mateus Mane from distance.
Fuck you!
Wolves finally back their teeth. The most shot-shy attack reaches the leaders' defence. What a shot this could be! Going in the stopping side as Wolves draw level.
Incredible. But that's what happens. One is never, ever enough. Whether you're top playing bottom, it doesn't matter. One is not enough in this game. And they've kept the ball really well, let's be honest. Give them some credit. They've kept it well, they've worked it into a good area. He's clearly onside, you can see in KPA. His goal side of Arakadari. It's a pacey, flat delivery. Nobody can get there. It's just what the big man does with it. And I tell you, he puts a really clever finish on that. It's a fast delivery. It's a flick, header at it. And it a splash past Adebayo right down the middle of the goal. Wow. How significant is that going to be for both teams?
Lots of time to score your first Premier League goal. Tying it up at 1-1. Last week they dropped a point in stoppage time to that goal from Eddie Buendia. And now, just as this game was going into stoppage time, and they dropped 2 to a header from Tolo Arakadari. Olivier watching that. Well, didn't panic, just took the step back that he needed. We're only in the middle of December, but you just wonder how significant the next 2.5 minutes, 3.5 minutes could be for Arsenal.
Yeah, I remember in those last couple of seasons when Mikel Arteta's boys have been chasing, and there was always a couple of games against teams that they should be beating, but just seem to get away from them. So no, I mean, there's still time, they can still grab another one here. Pretty much everything. It's a great to get a goal there is maybe marking him. What I would say, you know, you just scored. Shattered by that, wow. Those crosses, Wolves have just scored. And Fer Lopez, has he really got close enough to stop that delivery? And I think he
It's a Mosquera own goal. Wolves have parity. It hasn't been a game of continuously high quality like last week. It's been a slow burner, to administer. Same dose of medicine. Right in front of the assistant referee here, Mosquera has pushed Trossard to the ground, the flat of the head and the chest of Mosquera. He gets a yellow card. We're sure there's not going to be a third. Desperately hope that they will be. Comes along for a from Mosquera. Into Saliba. Saka. Strong defending by Akadu. Free kick given Arsenal's way. A yellow card for Akadu.
His team have stuck to their game plan religiously, and to go under to that, to an own goal is the way it always seems to go for teams that are running on this table.
And the story of this season is written. This will feel like a significant evening. They're not forced to hold on for Australia. They put it off the top of the table tomorrow. Still be at the summit from few seconds.
Biar jelek ini menantu. Aku win.